What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm at 289 subscribers, so if you want to make that 290, subscribe down below. Anyways, let's get right into the topic of today's video. There are fewer than 1 million new vehicles for sale right now, as of the end of September. Normally there's a lot more. There's probably 250% more. You know, last year it was 2.5 million, and 2 years before that it was 3.5 million. So we're actually decreasing. I'm not too worried about this because I'm not very interested in new cars. But a lot of people that are, you know, expanding their family and all this stuff, they want new cars and people cannot buy them. So that leads to a price, you know, increase. A similar example is kind of the 2020 Corvette. That was MSRP at $60,000, so it's right here. And resale markets are right here at $100,000. So they're actually increasing the price a whole lot because of the chip shortage, and there's also not a lot of vehicles for sale. So with this being said, in September, the average new car sold for around $45,000. Which is a lot. I mean, considering that you can buy a Civic for about $20,000, a new $45,000 car is probably like an Audi or something like that. And to be exact, it was $45,031. So with this being said, September last month was actually one of the worst months for sales that they've seen in like a decade. And people are kind of, you know, seeing the high prices and not really wanting to pay those because we're in the middle of a recession and people do not have money, so they cannot buy the cars, and they kind of want to wait for prices to go down. I'm not sure, kind of like the housing market, but I'm not sure if it will go down a whole lot. It might slow down a little bit, but not a whole lot. So with this being said, this is being caused by the actual microchip shortage. They don't really have the parts that they need to build the cars, so therefore the cars cannot be put out to consumers. And with this being said, the average new car has about 100 microchips. And if you think about how many cars there are, just this year, the 1 million cars, that'd be about 100 million microchips. And the previous years, it was 350 million, 250 million. And if you think about it, that's a lot of chips. I mean, even though they're microchip, there still is a lot of them to be made. The Chevy Spark, if you know, well, I don't like it personally. I'm sure a lot of other people like it. The actual increase in price was 9% year over year. So I mean, you can tell that the Chevy Spark was $17,000, and it sold for above that. So the prices are going up even when it's not luxury cars. Obviously luxury cars are going to be more affected, just because you can really jack up the price on those. And even if it's 9%, it's going to be way more than the Chevy Spark in terms of how much you're actually paying. So with this being said, a lot of the manufacturers are what you consider low on cars, and they do this by a day supply scale. So how many days it'll take to sell out the cars. Toyota and Honda are obviously high on the list because everybody wants, you know, the new Civic or the new Camry, and they're actually pretty low with just a 17-day supply and a 19-day supply for Lexus. So Toyota dealers have fewer than 20-day supplies. So these are on their models like the RAV4, the Camry, the most popular models that are actually available. If you think about it, it's people want a lot of those cars, so they're willing to dish out a lot of money, but they might not have a lot of cars because they're pushing out so many and they're such a reputable brand. But anyways, you have the other side of the scale, which is, you know, people like Fiat, which they make okay cars. I mean, I wouldn't personally buy one, but you know, they have 88 days of supply. So they have more than 3 times the amount that they have. And, you know, Fiat is actually, you know, they have the 500X, which is kind of like a crossover type vehicle. And they have more supply, so they're not being hit as much, just because people aren't really looking to buy a Fiat. They're more leaning towards the Toyotas or the Hondas, just because Fiats are known for breaking down and not really doing the best. whereas Toyota and Hondas can go 200, 300,000 miles without breaking down. Anyways, I'll leave you with this quick fact. Actually, minivans were the hardest to find in this, luck of shopping. Still, right now, there's not as many new minivans, but the easiest ones to find were actually the full-size cars, so the sedans with 4 doors, and the electric cars. Of course, you have companies like Tesla really leading the game with that. We're gonna see, hopefully, the prices go down as the chip shortage, goes back to normal, and we'll see what actually happens, whether or not the chip shortage will continue. But for now, it's going to continue for probably another year, hopefully not. But yeah, with that being said, I just wanted to let you know, how cars are actually affected right now with the chip shortage, and how many we actually have. When you think about 1 million, you think it's a lot, but really, people buy cars every day. And regardless of the high prices, they're still going to pay to buy a car, but we only have a limited supply right now, so we're down a lot. But anyways, that is the end of today's video. Make sure to subscribe down below. Help me get to that 1,000 by the end of next year. And also make sure to like down below. Helps me out a lot. Helps me bring my content to more people. And also make sure to comment down below which car is your favorite.